Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Cheche. In this video, I'll be sharing with you guys how I designed this stylish shoulder bag. If this is your first time in this channel, I share dressmaking and bag making tutorials. If this sounds like something you are interested in, keep watching and let's get started. In making of this shoulder bag, I'm working with a chinos fabric, and I've already cut out the body of this bag, the front and back. The length I cut out for this is 10 inches and the width is 14 inches. Depending on how big or small you want your own shoulder bag to take, you either increase or decrease your measurement, but follow the steps I'll be sharing with you guys in this video in making yours. So right now I'm going to be covering the upper part of this bag, and after covering the upper part I also curve the down part. To create the upper curve on the bag, I'm going to come in at this open part of the fabric by 2 inches, and at this part of the fabric I'm going to come down by 3 inches. So I'm going to connect the points just like this. Then I'll use my free hand to just create a curve this way and I'll trace it out. Once you are done creating the actual shape of your bag, the next thing you should have in mind is to measure out the length of the side. So from this part, I am going to measure to meet the other part because this is where the side will be attached to. And after measuring mine, I got 32 inches as the length of the side. Here I've already cut out the side for the bag and the fabric is folded in half. The total length I have here is 32 inches. I'm going to fold it in half this way, and the width I cut out for it is 4 inches. The beginning of the side for this bag, I'm going to reduce it by 1 inches on both sides. Then after marking 1 inches on both sides, I'm going to place my tape vertical this way and mark 5 inches as well. I'll use my ruler to connect it just slant from the 1 inches to meet the 5 inches, or use your free hand, anyone can sharp as well. Just create something curved just to align with the other line of the side, okay, just like this. This is basically how you have to be trimming the upper part of the side. This is like what I usually do when I'm making this kind of bag that comes with this kinds of side. Just have it in mind that the upper side is not usually equal with the rest of the side. Just like when you mark like 5 inches down of the side is not usually equal, okay. So right now I'm going to remeasure it to make sure I have half of 32, which is 16, and when I measured mine I got 16.5. So make sure you have exactly 16, because sometimes when you even have the exact 16, it will be more than, it will be excess. So I'm going to trim off that half inches. I have to make sure that I have exact 16. Okay, so this is how the side of the bag yours need to look like. So I'm going to be cutting out lining for this, exactly lining for this, because this is the lining I'm working with for the main body of the bag. I'm also going to use the same fabric to cut out for the side. Okay, right now I'll be working on the lining part because I want to add like a small inner pocket to the lining part of this bag. Just a very simple stuff, okay. I'll just work with the chinos fabric. I'll just have to fold it and attach it to the lining, that's all. The next step I'm working on right now is to attach the zipper, and there's a very small trick in attaching the zipper. The zipper won't be starting from the beginning of this bag because I'll be closing the both zip tab with the fabric I am working with. So when cutting out your zipper, just make sure you have like cut out 1 inches at the beginning edge, because that 1 inches will be completed with the fabric. But don't forget to add your zip head before cutting out a small piece to fold your zip tab to complete with the length of the actual zip. Okay, just watch carefully. You definitely understand what I'm doing right now. Okay. After placing the zipper right face facing right face to the body of the bag, you also get the lining. You place it as well. At that right face, you place it facing the zipper side just like this. I'll be stitching the lining together with the zipper round, and after that I'll have to turn the lining and top stitch neatly. Before stitching the other part of the body, I'll have to stitch the lining of the other side together with the body so that it will stay in one place. And to do this, I advise you work with pin so that everything will be in alignment while stitching. So the lining I'm working with is a doll face satin fabric for this. So if you watch carefully now, the front is not actually the front I'm working with because I don't want to work with the shiny part. I wanted to work with the dull part of the fabric. Okay, so that is why I chose the back part as my front. So whenever I say the front part, just know I'm referring to as the back part. So I'm going to do the same thing I did to the other one, and once I was done, this is how it looks like. Oh my god, the bag is already coming out and we are not yet done with the stitching. I'm done working on the body of this bag. The next step I have to take to attach to the body of the bag is to stitch the lining to the side of the bag. Okay, to do this, make sure you face the lining wrong face and also the actual side wrong face. Face them both wrong face facing wrong face. Place them accurately just like this while I go right on my sewing machine and stitch both of them together. After stitching that, you trim the excess allowance that will come out from the lining, because I didn't cut out the lining exactly the same with the side. I gave it like half inches on both sides. So after the stitching, I have to now trim the excess allowance. So this small piece I have here is to attach the plastic adjuster to the side. So this is the fabric that I've cut out for this. I'll be using to attach the plastic adjuster to one side of the bag. I also at the same time go right on my sewing machine and stitch it just like this. So after folding it this way, I'm going to stitch up this open part and also match at the other edge of this fabric. At the same time, I also worked on the main handle for this bag. Just how I stitched this one, I also stitched it. The only difference is that I made a stitch at the center part, and this is how it looks. So the length I have here is 43.5 inches is the length for the main handle of this bag, and the width before I folded it is 4.5 inches. Okay, so what I'll do now is to attach the side to the body of this bag. Once I'm done attaching one side of the side to the body of the bag, I'll use a lining to bias the rough edges. But if you have the actual bias, you can use the actual bias to bias the edges neatly. But I'll use alternative bias, which is using a lining or the same fabric you are working with to create a bias. Okay, just to make sure that the inside looks very neat and not rough. By the time I'm done stitching the side to the body of the bag, the next thing I'll be working on is to attach this small piece and also the handle to the side. Basically, we are already at the point to finish. Well done, guys. So once I was done, this is how it looks. I used the lining to bias the rough edges, and it's not even noticeable that it's a lining. The whole point here is to make sure that the rough edges in your bag is very neat. Okay, so the next thing I'll be attaching, like I said, is to attach the handle and the plastic adjuster to the bag. Once I was done with the stitching, this is how it looks. I trimmed it very well so that, because that part is very thick, so because of by the time I turn it, the thickness and won't come out in front of the bag. That is why I had to trim it very low. So right now I'm turning the bag inside out. So for the handle, I noticed that the length was quite longer than I expected. I reduced the length by 5 inches and I folded the beginning edge just like this so that the rough edges on the fabric will be showing. Okay, so after the stitching, this is how it looks. The reason why I love this bag so much is that you can adjust it to the length you want here. So I've already adjusted mine to the desired length I want the bag to take. So if you want yours to be smaller, just adjust the handle. So guys, this is basically all on the steps I took in making this shoulder bag. If you found this video helpful, do well to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so that you'll be the first to be updated whenever I post new video. Thank you guys for watching and don't forget to share this video to people. It will be helpful too. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.